I do it for the drugs. I do it just to feel alive. I do it for the love. Can't get from the bottom of a bar.
Well, what's going on, everybody? I'm the one, the only, the W-O-O-K-I-E. Joined here by just one misfit. It's really the only misfit we need, right? That's how this goes.
No, we need all of them.
We need all the misfits? Okay, well. No, I disagree. We only need this, your misfittiness.
It's like saying you only need one Power Ranger.
You do only need one Power. Actually, you only need two. You need the red and the green. Later to be white
Red.
Power Ranger.
Okay. I was gonna say, why those colors specifically? But now I see what you're going for.
Because they were the best. Duh. Every other Power Ranger was absolutely useless. Besides for red and green, and the green which turned into white.
R.I.P.
Hold on, let me grab my coffee. Change my mind. Right? But we got tons to go over. We did go through a few weeks of not being able to record. I guess it got cold down there in Texas, and you guys don't handle the cold well.
Yeah, it was a little too cold than the infrastructure was made for. So
that's wild to me. Because you guys are like,
when
oh
you
yeah,
have,
it's 20 degrees out there. And I'm like, put a negative behind it, and that's what it is in Wisconsin right now. It is ice.
When you start getting record-breaking cold, then you'll probably be in.
We had record-breaking cold. It was like negative 45 one day.
Was that the coldest it had ever been?
I don't know what the record is, but like that's the coldest I could ever remember it being.
Yeah. Eventually, Wisconsin will also break if it starts getting colder.
Cold for Wisconsin. Nope, I still had to go to work.
Yeah, it's I've lived in Utah, so snow is one thing, but ice is a whole nother thing.
We were within 10 degrees of the coldest it has ever been recorded in Wisconsin. It was negative 45. The record for coldest in Wisconsin ever was negative 55.
All right, when you get to negative 60, then we'll see if things start breaking.
Well, in terms of wind chill, we've been at negative 60 before, which it was reported in Menominee Municipal Airport on January 30th, 2019. I remember that cold. I still went to work. It was brutal.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, and you guys are like, oh, it's snow! What is this white powdery substance on the ground? We dare not go outside.
That is, to be fair, how some Texans respond. But
I feel like if you Texans touch it, you just turn to dust.
I'm not a Texan, so you can't say.
You kind of are. When you were like, it's too cold to record, I was like, yeah, that's that Texan coming out.
It's because my house can't handle it. It wasn't built for it.
Yeah, but we got some, as Cole Robbie is saying, news. Why don't you run us through the quick news?
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I actually didn't want to talk about this at all during this episode, because I wrote this episode, as, we said, over a week ago, and getting into what just happened today, I feel like, makes the episode length longer. But then I looked at what the original topic was, and I was like, there's actually no way to talk about it without also talking about the news from today. Because we were going to talk about all of the information that had come out around roots of corruption and kind of moving forward with, how the next Game Found is going to be, new products, things like that. But just today, it was announced that Seeds of Unity had a production delay, which if you've ever worked in any amount of industry that ships things or produces things, not super surprising for, January, February. It's very common. Actually, I heard today as well that Magic, or maybe not Magic, but Pokemon also has a delay of like their next set. So, delay of Seeds of Unity also means that they are pushing Roots of Corruption a little bit. So, Seeds of Unity for Europe and North America will start delivering to retailers on February 23rd. That was formerly February 9th. Rest of the world retailers will start March 9th. And then for backers, Europe and North America starting March 2nd, which was I can't say that word right now.
Formally?
Yeah. I'm saying it like how I'm actually reading it, and it's messing it up. February 16th. Rest of world backers, March 16th. On this, the rest of world is pretty interesting, but also shipping has been an absolute nightmare like the last month or two, and it's just getting worse and worse. So I'm not sure if that has something to do with it, but because of the delay of seeds, Roots of Corruption will now be March 2026, March 3rd for reveal season, March 10th for the campaign launch, March 16th is when the retailer pledge will close, March 18th they'll announce the retailer total, and then March 20th will be the campaign end. So that is the campaign timeline as of now. So if when we're talking about the actual set and the previous article we mess any of that up, just know there's a new article about it, and those are the dates, and there are some more interesting things around the delay in Seeds of Unity. But this episode is mainly supposed to be about Roots of Corruption. So what say you on that, Wookie?
Well, I'm just reading real quick because literally it came out today. I don't see anything in here that says what's the production delay, like what the delay is, or why, which caused it. But for those of you following along at home, because I know you guys like to say this doesn't happen in other games, just for quarter one of 2026, here are a few of your CCGs or /TCGs that are having production production problems. Pokemon TCG has been having a production problem. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is having a production problem. Weiss Schwartz is having production problems, and you were correct, Magic the Gathering is also having production problems. So,
yeah, there's a lot that goes into the start of the year that makes it not surprising, which I know some people, they don't care about, or they'll still be upset or say this is the end of the world. But there's Chinese New Year, there's the fact that nobody in North America wants to work in December, weather is really bad, and then the switch over from quarter four into quarter one causes a lot of things. As for what caused it, as far as I know, it is production based and not a decision by Equinox at all. But from what they have said, this being the first one, changing up their production and working with new production partners, this should not, happen again, at least in the
until
same
next year
regard. Yeah, until February
year.
of next year, which is very likely because it's quarter one.
Yeah, the cold and people not wanting to show up to work is a definite real thing, and no matter what industry you work in. Again, I work in retail. Guess what happens when it gets cold? People go, my car won't start. I don't know how I will ever be able to get to work. Not that we now live in it. In 1996, that was probably fine, but it's 2025. where we have things like Uber, where you can definitely order an Uber. Now, the one thing I will tell you is they are redonkulously expensive when it gets colder as snowing. I had one employee come and tell me she lives right down the road, and she's like, it was like $55 for her to get an Uber
Yeesh.
home or to work.
You gotta make corporate foot the bill if they want people to go into work.
Yeah,
on those days.
it is something I have offered. I'm not going to tell anybody that I wasn't like, hey, like, if you can't make it in for one reason or another, and you're going to tell me, like, I don't got money for an Uber, which is legit, like, but tell me, right? Like, you just tell me. So they don't like that. So now they just go, I'm sick. So
Yeah.
it
Whatever works.
is. Yeah.
So that was just a little side note, because I think we'll come back to this and things around seeds specifically. One actually like really good part of this is there was originally a demo deck tournament scheduled for this Sunday, and I didn't really realize it until this week, but that's also the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Now that they are shifting things, the demo deck tournament will no longer be on the same day as the Super Bowl. So that's actually a very good thing for at least the United States, even if, most people don't care to watch it.
Nobody cares about the Super Bowl unless you're from Boston or Seattle.
Yeah, I am once again in the seat of this year. I will just be watching it for the halftime show and then enjoying everyone and their brains melting because they'll hear some Spanish here and there.
I was going to say because Bad Bunny is performing.
Yep. I'm actually not a huge Green Day fan personally.
They're doing the
also,
opening act, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll
they're
also
doing the
be Green
halftime
Day,
show. So, whatever. I am also not a huge Green Day fan. In fact, by not a huge Green Day fan, I hate Green Day. I think they're garbage. That's me. If you like Green Day, good on you. My wife and children all love Green Day. I don't understand the appeal. I understand their message, which, hey, I'm here for their message just as much as anybody else, but I can't stand dude's whiny tone, so that just gets under my skin. So that's me. That's may not be you. Maybe you like them. Shit, I spent my good hard-earned money last year to send my daughter and wife to go see Green Day. But
So the joke's really on you.
the joke's really on me, right? It just, it's one of those things where, they like it, I don't, and that's okay. I don't have to go to it, and that's cool. If they want to, that's fine. Just how, you don't like Sleep Token, and I do.
Yeah, I'm
not forcing you to go to any Sleep Token concerts anytime soon. So,
yeah, hopefully not, because
No.
I don't think I'll go.
what if I was like, "Hey, I'm sending you and your wife to a Sleep Token concert"? You'd just be like, "Oh,
My wife would also say, "Who the hell wants to go listen to Sleep Token?"
oh man." Well, either way,
So I think we'll circle back to more stuff around seeds probably in our next episode. I'm hoping that we can time it just perfectly to where
Seeds is old news, bro. Time for Roots of Corruption. Nobody
Well,
cares
that's
about what's that old set.
I think the next episode we record will be our Seeds of Unity
Spoilers.
episode where we do our top 5 and whatnot. So, but as you said,
We
Roots
didn't get
of
offered any
Corruption.
spoilers for Roots of Corruption, did we? Or is it because are we not cool anymore? Did we drop off the charts?
We did not get one for Seeds of Unity because Hero's Guide to Asgartha stole them all. So we should just talk about how greedy they are.
What do you mean they stole them all?
Well, you see, Kohlrabi, got a card reveal, and it is out if you want to see it on YouTube. But Altered Coroner themselves did not. However, somehow both Nick and Chili have their own reveals. So I don't know. Bribes, something's afoot.
Meh. Card reveals are overrated. We'll just beat them with numbers and win every time.
There you go.
That's how you do that. Take that, HGA. That is HGA, right? Heroes Guide to Earth. Yeah, HGA.
Yep.
Yeah.
HGA.
I was like, what's the acronym? But this set is shaping up to be what the Wookiee's been asking for. So I am incredibly excited. And it even has a new Lyra hero with new dice rolling mechanics. It's like they listen. I swear. I can't get over how, like, I say something and sometimes things appear. And everyone's going to be like, oh, sometimes just because you had the same idea as somebody else, it's like, no, it can't be that big of a coincidence. This shit happens all the time to me.
Yeah, I'm already hearing really good feedback to this set. I've heard from a couple people who don't play anymore that are now very much enticed to come back to the game for Roots of Corruption. I'll read the little teaser text here. It says, shadows loom over the Rekka capital, but even as corruption spreads through its streets, the city refuses to fall. Darker and more unsettling than previous sets, Roots of Corruption plunges you into an epic stand of resistance as nightmarish entities tear at the fabric of reality and descend upon the Rekka civilization. Drive back the darkness in Roots of Corruption, Altered 6th and most ambitious expansion yet.
I'm just kidding. I just added that in there for all the Doomsday Sayers because it's fun to mess with them. I had watched the trailer. We talked about this a couple weeks ago now. I'm sorry to say the trailer didn't get me hooked, but the art that they have released got me in there like swimwear. I really like the promotional package they put up here, with the booster box and the collector boosters. That really got me hooked. The set name, I don't know if you want to call it font or whatever, like everything about this was done really well. Just the trailer just didn't get me that hyped. It still felt too cheery.
Yeah, the if you haven't seen it yourself, specifically the one that Wookiee is talking about is like a teaser. And so it's the kind of teaser where, when the next big Marvel movie is coming, they kind of look back on the previous sets or movies, and then they just ever so slightly tease the next big thing. So it's kind of like that.
It was very subtle.
Yeah. What is very cool about the trailer is it was voiced by members of the Masubi, not including me because I was very sick during the time when they were doing that, unfortunately. But yeah, the imagery and the setting and where the story is going and some of the other things we'll talk about here in a second are also right up my alley as well. So what I was going to say is Altered has on the outside and cover, value, face value, same thing, been very cheery, but there's always kind of been like some sadness and darkness like looming below the surface. I mean, we've read the lore for the little match girl, which is just haunting.
Dark as shit, and I love it. Sorry.
Yeah. Paju, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Paju is not even alive. Like, Paju's dead. So having a person that is absolutely dead on a card is interesting. Sierra's story and like Basira's story, like they're full of sadness and darkness. And now they're like expressly facing an embodiment of all that darkness with the corruption, which is very cool. You already mentioned the new Lyra hero. Mm-hmm. I'm actually super stoked for the new Ysmir hero as well.
I was going to get to that. So we can get into the heroes real quick since we're going to talk about it. One thing I noticed, and tell me if I'm wrong, do these seem like crossover heroes? Or does that
crossover
just me?
in what regard?
So let's go through Gretel and Rust. Gretel and Rust is a Bravos hero. Keep up to 3 cards in your landmarks during night. It is the second hero that's allowing you to keep 3 landmarks. At noon, if you control a feat, create a Rust 000 token in your companion expedition. It is a companion with I gain 1 burst per completed feat in your landmarks. Which obviously, do they reveal any feats here? I didn't think they did.
So they don't have it in the article, but there is 1 or 2. Is it 1 or 2 in the game found?
Okay.
There's at least 1 or 2 hiding within like the game found page itself,
where you can kind of see it.
Yeah, because you can go see the preview of the game found campaign page up now.
But let's look at Gretel and Rust. Gretel is a Bravos hero. Mm-hmm. Not a traditional Bravos hero. There's no fire, right? There's no fire to be seen anywhere. The only thing really linking her is she's a redhead, which I guess we'll see what that happens. But then Rust, like when I think of Rust, I think of things that are very like mechanical, right? Which is typically towards Axiom.
Yeah, so do you know who Gretel is?
Well, okay, so when I hear Gretel, I think of Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that is correct. And then at the same time, Gretel is specifically Bravos Pathfinder, grown up and more advanced. There's some speculation on like what the meaning behind this is. Like, have they always been Gretel? Because in some of the lore, like they go by a different name. Are they like awakening, what's been within them? But there's actually a couple of like hidden characters within Altered itself. It's not as lesser known now as it once was, but I mean, Ordis Attorney is specifically Goldilocks. And then there's other subtle references like that. I mean, technically, Elsa is in the game,
Yeah.
So the verdict is still out on what is going on with Bravos Pathfinder exactly.
Well, because then we can
find
go
out.
into Youngie and Ember, right?
Yep.
So you can exhaust it, target character you control, or target a character you control, then roll a dice. You may spend as many luck counters to increase the results. On a 4+, it activates its X ability. On a 1 through 3, it gains a luck counter. But again, okay, so we don't have very traditional Lyra character here. Maybe we do. The more I look at it, the more I see it. But then we have Ember, which I would be like, oh, that should be a Bravos person, Yeah.
Maybe there is some kind of something towards that. I don't think we have character lore released at all. But yeah, I guess we'll have to find out. I mean, so in the game found page, they also have alt art for Gretel. Maybe you are just onto something that hasn't really been discovered or explored yet. But
Well, I can't imagine. I've looked at these maybe a handful of times. I can't imagine nobody's like put these together. Because then even then you got Sam and Spook. This is probably Sam herself is probably the most, I guess, mushed together. Very much looks Ysmir, but then you kind of go into the hair with the very neon colors, the pinks, the purples, the blues, the greens. Feels very Lyra-y, but then you look and she's got I'm guessing that's a third eye. I don't know why it's sideways. And her companion Spook, that one I haven't quite figured out yet. But again, that feels almost like the dragon. I am drawing a blank. Help me out here.
The Kirakomi or
Lyra Hero. Her companion. Blotch.
Navenka and Blotch.
Navenka and Blotch, yes.
Yeah.
Feels very similar, except it's a skeleton elephant.
It reminds me of like the weird heffalumps and woozles like nightmare trip from Winnie the Pooh.
Yes. I have a feeling, if y'all want to join me in this, she's going to be the most busted hero of the three. So you can draw a card, then discard a card from your hand by exhausting her. You can activate this ability only if you are first player. When you have 6 or more cards in your discard pile, she permanently gains. When you discard a card from your hand, return it to your reserve.
Yeah.
This definitely won't be abused.
It's Ysmir. Of course it's going to be abused. That's what they love to do.
Right, so I was like, yeah, she's busted, guaranteed, 100%.
Yeah,
first errata right there.
I actually, honestly, have not heard anyone discussing it in any of the discords, but maybe you are kind of onto something where, so Beyond the Gates was, like these heroes setting out into the greater world for the first time in hundreds of years or whatever. And then now we're discovering new civilizations that we've never encountered. In Seeds of Unity, that's going to be the Rekka. They're like solar punk people, as the game designers have said. And maybe, honestly, with that comes, more kind of intermingling with the factions. And maybe we see heroes start to take on more of a combined theming, instead of just a straight up like, oh yeah, this is absolutely through and through Bravos, like Atsari would be, or, Kojo, very obviously flamey and whatnot.
It just makes me wonder as we progress through sets, and I don't know how, I feel like Altered's always had a top-down, like, design, right? Like they have a story they want to tell, and then they build cards around it, as opposed to like building cards and then having a story. As we move on, because now we're into set 6, and maybe it's not now, maybe it's not for a while. Just depends on how they want to tell their story. But now it seems like almost like we have the Rekka, right? And we've had cards that depict the Rekka. Mm-hmm. If eventually we don't, I mean, obviously, when we first thought, we're like, oh, this is what it is, and there was talks about, oh, there's going to be others, other civilizations, and then we found the Rekka, and it's like, oh, do we find like 4 others, and then it becomes, the Asgarthans, the Rekkas, the C, D, E. And all those heroes, as opposed to being the Ysmir, Lyra, Bravos, turn into Asgartha, Rekka, whatever's next, whatever. Kind of continuing that on into a much larger world.
Yeah, there's still one faction that we've never seen represented in cards, as far as I'm aware, which is the Lost Tribe. So that is
because they're lost. Cole. Nobody's found them. Wow! Well, how did you not get it? It's right in the name.
Someone needs to work on that and find them, because then maybe we'll get a 7th faction.
One day, we do get to see some of the corruption cards too. They talk about corruption, stigmas, and plagues. So first one we see is Corrupted Esmeralda. Well, I guess I'll go over her and kind of go through it. So, 22033, when played from hand, gains fleeting unless an X ability was activated this turn. When played from hand, you get to resupply. So very similar to other Esmeralda, except now it's fleeting unless an X ability was played. Stigma of Havoc, which is a 6/5 corruption. Pretty dope art on this one. 5/5/6. When played from hand, each player discards their reserve, resupplies, then resupplies again. Both of these coming out of Lyra. That gave me an idea, but we can talk about that at another time. And then we got a Bravos, the Plague of Arrogance. This guy is dope. He is sitting on what looks like a throne of, like, a city.
Yeah.
Is the only way I can say it. Like, it's like a throne of skyscrapers. So he's a 7/7 character corruption. 4/4/3 gigantic. Sacrifice a feat to choose one, or sacrifice a completed feat to choose two. Sabotage. Send target character to reserve, or gain 2 boost.
Yeah, these are very cool, and I love seeing corrupted Esmeralda. Basically, there's going to be old cards. I mean, there's another one that we'll talk about when we go into the stigmas and other things. But basically, old cards coming back, but corrupted. And Esmeralda is a damn good one to show off first, and looks very
I'm just
cool.
wondering, well, it's not a worse. Well, it's technically a little bit. It's better stat-wise. Right, because it's a 3/3 instead of a 2/2, or it's a 0/3/3 instead of a 0/2/2. Even our goat's corrupted. Look at that.
Yeah,
With the crazy glowing eyes. I just don't. Okay, when played from hand, so you don't want to really play her from hand. You want to play her from, but then you don't get the resupply.
well, unless you use a support ability, which is very common in Lyra, whether it be a discount or something. So, yeah, I don't think it expressly says it in the article we're going off of now, but one of the lines on the Game Found page is support abilities. Protect the inhabitants and assist your allies thanks to the support abilities of your characters. So there's a Lyra Pfeiffer here. It's like a flautist. From anywhere, if a card in your expeditions or your reserve has a discard ability, I gain 1 boost. So there's going to be like more interactions around the support abilities other than just what they are at face value.
All right. And then it says collect new treasures, exclusive and thematic card treatments that capture the eerie beauty of the set are coming to Altered for the first time. Hunt down corrupted evil eye cards. That's all these cards look really cool. Shattered stigmas and even frame breaking plagues. First one we see, I guess, is going to be the Evil Eye, which is the Tooth Fairy. It's the Corrupted Tooth Fairy. 2/2 for a 1/2/1. Played from hand, it gains fleeting unless 6 or more cards are in your discard pile. And then it sabotages, so a little upgraded fairy.
Yeah, so for you and whatever other crossover we might have to the other podcasts, this is like a haunted, style tech.
Yeah, haunted mechanic. Yep.
How many cards you have discarded, which is cool. But these art treatments are amazing, and I am so stoked. So as you mentioned, the Corrupted Tooth Fairy has the Evil Eye treatment. And then the art itself for the Corrupted Tooth Fairy is just awesome. The evil-looking Tooth Fairy holding this giant, like,
tooth,
T-Rex-sized tooth. But then there is also, what do they call it? Shattered stigmas.
Yeah.
The question is, which one do you like more?
I like the shattered stigma. If they, I don't know if they're all going to be like this, because the example they show is the stigma of cowardice. It is a character corruption 4/4 for a 4/4/4. Say that 10 times fast. Tough one. When played from anywhere, pass. When an opponent passes, you may play a card. paying its cost normally.
Yeah, that is a good point, because this card has like these shattered intersections in the art, which shows
And they're all
a bunch
eyeballs.
of eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, which is bizarre and very cool.
So they might be different for other cards. I think you're right, because it says, as the breach shatters reality, some stigma will give you a glimpse of what lurks on the other side in the realm of nightmares.
The realm of nightmares. That could be fun. I wonder if that's a place we're going to visit. I like the realm of nightmares. And then we get the awakened plagues, which this is a very full art, a little bit different. Alt art. I'm going to call it an alt art. Yeah, it's alternate. So this is the plague of arrogance again. Does the exact same thing, but the art is very much larger, very much different. This guy's kind of got an Eye of Sauron thing going in his sword, where the other one did not. And it's just different. He's in a different pose, still sitting on top of the city, but instead of the back being dark, it's now like light out, and he's got his sword like across his back as opposed to just like in the ground next to him.
Yeah.
So, but same card, still very cool. I'm gonna have to see more of these awakened plagues before I say anything, because it's a cool card, but it's no different from them. Like, I feel like when you go from like common to like rare, where that art's it's just a little different. So, Stigma of Cowardice I like better than the evil eye, but again, is the evil eye treatment the same for everything? Because this is very street arty, right? Is that the same for everyone, where we're going to kind of see that same style? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see the shattered one being different a lot more depending on the card, but I would assume with the evil eye, really just the eye placements will be different on the card. But yeah, I think by far the shattered like treatment is going to be the coolest one, and the one I'm most excited for sure.
I would tell you, definitely check out. I'm trying to see, because I see this landmark feat. It's called The Last Stand. Can't read a thing on it. Not even a little bit. I tried zooming in. It is not working out. New cool, kind of a cool border. And then Baron, I can't even read what it is named. Baron Sim, it's like Cimettiere.
Yeah, one of the uniques that could come in the starter deck. Yeah. Baron Cimetier or something.
Okay, yeah. So obviously the three mechanics we're looking at, feats, support abilities, and discard. Just know I've been around card games long enough. Whenever you have an ability that likes to play with discard and playing with the discard pile, it tends to be overpowered. So get all your Lyra in a pile, because you're gonna be building decks with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's we got a couple of other cards in here that we can see. Nope, I just scrolled past it. Did I?
Yeah,
Yes,
if you switch over to the actual game,
yeah, that's where I'm at, because we got the Plague of Prejudice. This guy is pretty dope. 5/2 for a 2/2/2. When played from anywhere, it gains Anchored. When played from hand, send to reserve each other character with Forest lower than or equal to mine. Don't you have like a green weenie deck? I don't know what else to call it. I almost called it a white weenie deck, but like nothing but small like creatures or small characters.
I don't know if any deck in Muna you can call a weenie deck right now.
Well, their base stats are small, but they get bigger.
Yeah, I've made like a 2 mana only Muna deck and things like that. Um, this card specifically, it seems to be very good for like Cowrie, because you're sending a lot of woolly backs to the other side, but then you put this out and you just erase all that advantage you gave your opponent. So that is who I see this card for currently, but I'm sure people will find other ways to make it great.
We can also see the Close the Breach. It is a 3/3 landmark permanent feat. It says play me in your landmarks. I can't gain fleeting. Complete me to permanently unlock my feat. When played from hand, discard target character with base cost 3 or less. When you pass after your opponents, if you are first player, complete me. Once completed, you can exhaust it and pay 1. Target character you control gains 1 boost, then after you. That seems pretty good. And, like, extraordinarily too easy to complete for that power. I told you, get your Ysmir together.
Yeah, no, Ysmir's back.
Oh, yeah. Thank goodness. Going into heroes, the 2 they show are the Gretel and Rust, which you could see in our... If you're in a live show, you could see in our live chat. And then we got Isiri and Pebble, who are getting a full art, no text, serialized treatment.
Yeah, and you can see belly button.
You can see belly button. I would not have noticed that if you didn't say something.
Listen, Isiri's a hottie. What can I say?
Yeah. And then, so looking at this also, for all of you who are looking for your copy of The Hunger, you can get one as a box topper in each display.
Yep. This preview page is really good. It's really good to have it up now. Of course, there's some things that are locked, but it kind of already lays that out and tells you, what's going to be unlocked. One of a couple of the things that I wanted to note specifically about the Game Found is they've updated the structure based specifically off of how the last one went. So it already mentions stretch goals. There's no will they, won't they about stretch goals.
They will.
They will. They already mentioned community votes, kind of like last time how they put out a vote, like, what do you want this stretch goal to be? And then whatever won was what it was. And I think the structure of the whole campaign preview is better than it was for Seeds of Unity. And then there's a lot more clarification. The one thing that everyone keeps bringing up, if I had $1 for the amount of time someone mentioned it to me on multiple different platforms, I would not be looking for a new job, is the whole 2.5 million. I think that for now we just need to remove that from our minds, because in my eyes, it is entirely possible that is not a thing for the next set. Now, that's not saying that there won't be a goal that they want to hit.
Sure.
But I don't think it will be that much. And of course, I could be very wrong, but there's no reason to keep hitting on that until we actually know what the goal is and go.
Well, I think there is a good reason to keep hitting on that. Because we didn't know about it beforehand. They're like, yeah, whatever. There's no goal. This is a pre-order system. Right? We're just looking to do pre-orders, and then it's shit, if we don't have 2.5 million, guys, we're done. And that, so it was kind of one of those things where it was hidden behind a curtain, right? And then somebody unleashed the curtain. We don't know who that is. Something tells me someone knows who that is, but we don't know who that is. And then, it is, it's one of those things where, it's now always going to be in the back of every backer's minds of okay, so even if I back this, am I guaranteed this next set? Where am I at? Because it creates doubt, right? So I mean, if they do have a goal, I think it would behoove them to be like, hey, this is our legitimate goal. Now I don't know. Again, the campaign's not open yet, so we don't really honestly know what they set it to. But if you do have a goal, I think it would behoove you to be upfront and honest with your player base. Now that's a double-edged sword because a lot of people go, well, someone else will do it. Right?
Yeah.
It's like the same thing with print on demand. Yeah, I'll
Yep.
get there when it's closer. Right? So
Yep.
it is a double-edged sword. So I can understand they're not wanting to, but I do think there needs to be some level of transparency there where it's like, you obviously did have a goal. 50,000 wasn't it. And then all of a sudden it was something different. So
Yeah. And I think to my point is that is entirely valid, but I believe we'll be getting the actual number ahead of time this time based on how they've laid out their campaign structure and the fact that they've already built into the timeline that they're going to announce the retailer total before the campaign ends. So that's why I'm like, don't keep saying 2.5 million until that's actually the number, and then we'll work on it. Yeah, we'll see.
I can't. What else would it be? I mean, if it was 2.5 million last set, I don't know.
What about 2.2 million?
I mean, okay. I can't imagine. Like, they didn't change anything to like make me feel like they haven't. The announced changes haven't made me feel like there's anything different that they're doing this time that they did last time. So I'm kind of like, that it just seems like everything stayed status quo. So why would it be any different?
Yeah. Unfortunately, there have been like cuts and things like that for cost saving measures.
Sure.
So we'll see how much, space and room they were able to make up, and I guess we'll see what the campaign number is when we get there.
All right, so let's go over a few more cards. Was this a thing last time? Maybe it was. With the uniques coming in every starter deck now, at least one.
Yeah, I
was
believe.
Was it last time? Was that when it popped out?
Yeah, I think the Seeds of Unity decks all have
all the
guaranteed
starters,
unique.
Right?
Yeah, the starter decks, but I think the process is different for Seeds of Unity. I think in Seeds of Unity it might be to where it's like only one specific character or something, unless that changed in production. But from what I've heard for Roots of Corruption is they've taken that feedback and it should be a little different in the uniques that are in Roots of Corruption starter decks, but I don't know expressly how yet.
Because I'm not sure why they continue. So, I mean, it's a very big focus on Young Yi and Sam. At least they feel just with I don't know if they just had better rendered art for them or what it was, but you continue to see them. Sam we see playing with a voodoo doll, I think, earlier in the scroll downs. You don't see much. You don't see much of Gretel, but you see a lot of Sam and a lot of Young Yi. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's caught my eye.
Those should be the only two starter decks. Is just those two heroes.
Oh, Gretel's not getting a starter deck?
I don't think so in Roots of Corruption. I think they do two heroes per set. So Seeds of Unity is Tarun and Mats, and then this one is Young Yi and Sam. Yeah.
But they do show off a couple uniques. One is Mia, Prima Ballerina. She's a 3/3 for 4/2/2. Played from hand, you can activate her X ability. Each character you control other than me is tough 1. Her X ability is you may target a character other than me with base cost 3 or less. It gains anchored. And then there's what I was looking for. Baron. Wow, that is a name. Cemetery. Yeah, is it supposed to be like cemetery? Cemetery. He's a 3/2 for a 3/4/3. I think that's a hand. It's very blurry when played from hand. If there are 6 or more cards in your discard pile, sabotage.
Yeah, so I guess Baron Cimetière is actually the same as Baron Samedi, is what we would more likely know him as.
And then for all of you wondering, there's going to be a plush corrupted woolly back this game found. I might have just made that up.
I was like, are you making things up?
I might have just made that up. Because I scroll down, I see optional add-ons, and there's this like is it a 3-headed woolly back? Maybe there's more because I see a bunch of eyes. Yeah. I might have made that up. But cool art. Sweet art. Very, very cool.
Man, that would be cool just to get a corrupted woolly that has like 3 heads. That'd be pretty dope.
And that's about all that they say. They do go into obviously some more things. That part is for optional add-ons, and then they have a section for accessories with some sort of battle owl. Again, bird tribal, please. I don't know how I'd make that work, but if we can make this happen. Stretch goals, which are already in here with a cat of some sort. I don't think that's Fire Cat. But a cat of some sort. I'm going to guess this guy is Ortis because he's in blue. But he's riding a goose. Some sort of messenger. Yeah,
Ortis mailer or something, since there's like already that. Messenger.
But it says
deliverer.
for retailers and board game cafes. Okay. Create a pro account, and then there's an organized play section as well with Gretel on it, leading some sort of revolution of some sort. So
to fight the corruption.
To fight the corruption. I want to know what this is. When you keep scrolling down, it says play Altered online for free on Board Game Arena, which looks like a bunch of corrupted pig construction workers being blown away by a wolf.
True.
Whatever that is, I would like this card.
Looks like the wolf broke out. It's like got broken chains and everything.
And then it's just more of the same. Where you can follow them, yada yada yada. So,
yep, that is the preview of Roots of Corruption. I do agree. As much as I'm excited for Seeds of Unity, and there's been some very cool cards, which we will likely talk about soon. Roots of Corruption is my kind of shit, and it is.
I'm telling you, man, that's old news. Don't even worry about it. Don't even sleeve them, right? That's old news.
It's already paid for. We don't have to worry about it.
Which is so crazy to think about that. It's like, I was just talking with somebody the other day because they had the same complaint with Magic. It was like, I can't even be excited for the set that I'm playing because I'm already being pitched the next set. And you hear this kind of even across the internet, which it's like, yeah, that's just kind of the day and age we're in now. Like, be excited for what's upcoming, not what's in your hand. Like, it is what it is. It's tough. I get it, because you're like, yeah, but it's like, yeah, man, you don't even have the last set you've already bought, and you're being prepped for the next set to buy.
Yeah, and in a lot of cases, even for games that don't do Game Found, it's not that different. Because
Magic's doing the same stuff, because like literally, like they just had a set, and then it's like, well, but this next set's coming out next week.
Yep, and you have to pre-order it, or you won't get it.
Right. The only thing you have kind of have better off than Magic is literally, as soon as they release a set, yes, next week another set is coming out. At least you're getting a few months in between here with Altered.
Yeah,
I could not imagine doing that. Even Pokemon seems to be really fast. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, but it just seems like, sets are coming out quick. I don't know.
Quick. Speaking of quick, do you want some updates real quick of the first finals that we had a couple days ago?
Hit it.
So we just finished the winter season finals, and I just have a quick update here on 4 new players that are qualified for Worlds 2026, which will be at some time in Q4, end of the year. Who won the event was Sparky on Kojo. Second was Moondust on Traced. Third was Pavanya on Kojo, and fourth was Tempet on Traced. Which, if you just hear that and you take just that at face value, sounds pretty awful for the meta, right?
Is it 2025 again?
But it was actually a very cool event, and I put a note down here. Zero Suit Samus actually took Rin into the top 16. And Yikes took Nevenka into top 16, and then Zoa took Lindaway into the top 8. So what happened?
What is going on?
Yeah. So it was a very cool tournament. The top cut was very cool. Day one was Swiss, about 200 players, and then it cut to top 32. So while the top 4 was split between Kojo and Traced, the top 32 was very interesting. It was a lot of fun to watch. I had the pleasure of helping cast a Atsadi mirror in like the first part of top 32, I think. And it was just insane because neither Atsadi had like removal. So they were just throwing out huge things back and forth. It was fun.
Some of those names you're not accustomed to hearing like anymore.
Yeah.
Like Traced and who's the other one you named? I can't even remember it now.
Rin, Nevenka, and Lindaway.
Rin, Nevenka, it's kind of been here and there.
Yeah, there's been a couple good performers on Nevenka whenever there's a big event.
But Rin and Traced? When's the last time
Traced is one of the higher performer ones. I think you mean Rin and Lindaway.
Yeah, Rin and Lindaway. But you don't hear Traced too often.
I think it is somewhat of a surprise if you go off of the last couple weeks because it's kind of been Kojo, Basira, Sigismar for the most of it, but all of the Sigismars were defeated. So
that's what I expected you to say is all those names, and you said none of them.
Yeah, so we defeated fascists finally. Siggy was nowhere in the top 4, and congrats to those players that qualified right now. You can start qualifying for the spring season finals, whether you have a store that hosts a qualifying event or you play in a BGA tournament that has 64 or more players. And then we'll see you in the spring finals and see what the meta is like there.
Alrighty, what do we got left to go over here? Not a ton. Real quick, make sure. Oh, we got a Patreon question this week.
We technically do from YouTube again.
Oh, okay, go for it. What is it?
All right. Question for the team. Which Seeds of Unity card are you most excited about and why? Which one do you think is too strong and potentially harmful to the game, if any? From Gav Kenny. Have you really looked at any Seeds cards yet, Wookie?
I have. I don't know if I've seen anything crazy.
Yeah,
I'm sure someone will figure out ways to bust a couple of them.
Yeah, I think for me right now, the card that looks too strong is the Ortis Exalt. And then Rekka Tradesman is probably one of the best. I was gonna say
we did look at a few of the cards. Exalts and thought maybe some of them would be busted in one way or another.
Yeah.
Trying to remember. It feels like forever ago now because we haven't talked in so long.
Yeah. And we'll have our like top 5 and our arguments and whatnot next episode for all of the
I love arguments.
All of the Seeds cards.
I just now I've got Roots of Corruption on the brain, and I'm just like, Sam
You're gonna
and Spook
erase
are
it.
stuck with me. Like, I'm just like, man, that card's gonna be busted in one way. I don't know how, but someone will figure out how that card's just absolutely, how that hero is like the new like problem.
Yep. And after this episode, we'll erase it all from our minds, and then either this Friday or Sunday or whatever.
Probably not, because then I'll be like, it doesn't matter. Seeds, everyone's corruption.
But yeah, Rekka Tradesman is my favorite Seeds of Unity card so far. You should go to YouTube and type in Seeds of Unity Muna reveal or something like that. And other than that, we'll have a top 5 coming hopefully after this
either
episode.
Friday or Sunday. I'll try to get this out as fast as I can. I do go back to work tomorrow, so boo. Yeah, other than that, that's all we got for this week, huh? Check out ultracorner.com for all your event needs if you need a schedule, because I think that's where you should go, so we don't have to talk about them every week. You can just, there's a place where you can go find them for yourself. So, I'm just watching this video of these mountain goats. I don't know if this is AI or if somebody really attached a GoPro to one of these mountain goats. This shit's wild. You seen this video? I'll send it to you. These goats running across these mountains. It is nuts. It has to be AI.
Do they look corrupted?
They don't look corrupted. No twisty horns, but like, man, I don't know how their bodies could take all this force. Like, they're just running across these sheer cliffs and just falling for what feels like just meters and meters, and like they just land on their feet. It's not a big deal, and it's just like there's no way that's real, and it could be. I mean, nature is amazing, but Jesus, just gives me. I am having anxiety just watching it, and I'm not even there. I couldn't only imagine. I don't know, but that's gonna do it for us this week. Thank you to everybody. I see some new faces in the chat. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully we'll be back either like Friday or Saturday again with the live. Get a little back on track here now that the weather is not gross outside. And we shall see you all next week.
Later.
Just to feel like do it for the love.